Welcome back, everybody, to the Second Opinion Loan Officer podcast. I'm really excited today because I have a young man with me. I can say that because I'm an old guy. I have a young man with me that I met about a year ago, who had just started getting started on TikTok, and you. I think you were working with Ginger Bell at the time. Hopefully, my audience is familiar with Ginger. But I think she encouraged you to get on TikTok. So I talked to you a year ago, and you were just getting started, and you were doing some really cool things. And man, I just want to have a conversation with you. I want to talk about it. I want to see what it looks like 1 year later, and I just want to share you with people so that hopefully we can inspire somebody to understand that there isn't one path to educating, empowering consumers. And quite frankly, there isn't one path to being self-reliant and becoming your own lead generator. And so, Danny Ruiz, thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you, Scott. Hey, I follow you, and I know you're passionate about doing video and all the insights that you share. And thank you for that great job. So first, two very important things to start this podcast. First, I know that it's called Second Opinion Loan Officer, but I am doing video because I want to be the first opinion loan officer, the first person who talk with that client, the first person who tells what to do. I want to be that person, and thanks to the video thing, I've been that person. And second, let me fix something. You know Ginger Bell, she's excellent, she's great. She had been pushing me to do video, and we were doing YouTube. She helps me with my YouTube channel, and I was the one who said to tell her, hey, you know what, I'm gonna start doing TikTok. And she was like, TikTok, like Danny, TikTok, I don't think so.
It
Let's
sounds like
see.
me.
Yeah, watch me. And I started doing TikToks, and man, my business has blown away. And I would say to you guys, the ones that are not doing any type of video, okay? And if you are doing video, I will say, and you're not being consistent, try TikTok. Because what happened with TikTok is that my first impression was that this was an app for young people, for kids to dance,
Yeah.
to do funny stuff. And I, because of thinking about TikTok from that perspective, I lost probably ton of business. Because when I started to use TikTok the first time, I started like TikTok start like putting stuff on you to see what you like. So once you
Okay.
start scrolling and
Pick your
and, 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 and
preferences. Yeah.
liking, yeah, and looking your preferences, it's going to start putting more information and putting content in front of you that you would like to follow. So that's how the algorithm works. And when I started seeing that, I started following like people like Kevin O'Leary, like people from finances, stuff that I was passionate about, educating myself. At the same time, they have a stuff about funny people dancing, doing a lot of stuff. It's very funny. You laugh a lot, and there's also things that you don't want to pay attention to. So, but the algorithm works on on your interest, on your favor, and just by watching 60-second educational videos or up to 3 minutes of video, you're watching like the best of the best information. Because instead of you watching 15 minutes of a video on YouTube with a lot of fluff in there, they are just putting in a very concentrated form all the golden content that you want
Mm.
to have. So and I have educated myself a lot through TikTok. And at the same time, there's people that they want to purchase their home, they have a lot of questions about the home. And you know what, there's not much people like talking about what we do. And if there's
Yeah.
people doing it, they're always talking about the general things like, here are the documents required for you to start the loan process. hey, everyone is talking about the same. So on
Let
TikTok.
me let me unpack a couple of things that you said because you're dropping so many nuggets. I don't want them to get lost in the grass. So I want to go
Mhm.
pick some of them up and take a look at them. So there's a couple of things that you said that are really interesting. So first of all, when it comes to TikTok, I was the same way as Ginger, but I am not my personality. I'm Gen X. I'm in my mid 50s. My personality just doesn't feel like I don't like social. I don't like I'm not a social person. I'm a writer. I'm a copywriter. I like doing blogs. I like doing long form. It's just kind of my thing. But I love the fact that you said something that's really important. You said about the audience. The audience is a certain demographic, but when you go onto this thing, you're not seeking out your audience. You're building a lighthouse, and then the audience is finding you because you're shining bright. People are engaging with it. You're putting out good information, and so that people are finding you. They're being attracted to you. You're not targeting anybody with your message. You're just sharing your message, and so like it's a subtle perspective that I would like people to think about, because if you thought about how do I get on TikTok and find my audience, like that's a hard way to approach it. You need to go on any platform and just be yourself and share your things. The other thing that you said that really just kind of, like, it wasn't a light bulb that went off, it was a floodlight that went off in my head. There is something, there is a skill set that is learned in being able to create a succinct, short message and make it impactful, right? Like being able to deliver value in 60 seconds or less. Like you said, a lot of people are doing super generic things, but you don't. Do you do some generic stuff, or do you do very specific videos? Give me some ideas of some topics that you target.
When I started, I was doing like genetic stuff, but then when I started to like, there's so much content, right? So the generic stuff is like probably you can do a list of 10 things, but then what about what's next? So then you can break down each topic in so many layers. You can go as deep as possible, and as you know, there are so many guidelines that this is a business that it never ends. Every single day you have a new scenario. So yeah, so going back to your question, that's the straight answer. But then yes, we have so many scenarios every single day that I don't see any other platform other than TikTok to share those scenarios right when you hung up the phone with the client. Boom, when you said, "Hey, this is a very specific scenario, but we often have this scenario in a consistent basis. So let me start a video with this as a hook,
Yes.
and boom, then you're gonna see everyone like, hey, thank you. Hey, how can I reach you? I would like to talk to you a little bit more about that because that's my scenario. Or sometimes you have people with no, not that same scenario but with five scenarios that are completely different. So we have to start touching those as scenarios, and that's when you're gonna see people like when they call you like, hey Danny, I have seen you for TikTok. Hey man, what you teach, what you say, man, is so different. No one else is talking about that. Everyone is telling the same stuff that is easy, but they are not telling you like how I'm gonna make it if I have this situation. And you have been solving problems. Hey, sometimes I go so deep with the clients, like let's say I identified that sometimes the clients, when they call me, like they start the conversation saying, hey Danny, I would like to buy a house, but I have a problem. So I use that same intro in my videos, and it exploded. I say, hey, I know that you want to buy a house, but you have a problem, right? You have a problem. Most of people when they call me, tell me that they have a problem. I found the solution, and they tell me no. And now I have another problem to tell you. And I
Well,
started a video like that with that intro, and people identify themselves like very quick with what I was saying. Like, if you and I have the solution, but you need to reach out to me. Yeah.
so
And I made an example reference of a person from TikTok that called me that she thought that she had like 5 problems, and we solved 5 of their problems. And but just only one is that we have to wait until June to consider her overtime because we need 12 months. And now she will buy a home in June. So that's all. You have to call me back.
all
Boom.
right, again, man, you were just dropping so much great stuff. Okay, so first of all, what I'd like to point out is that person was a second opinion. The reason she knows she had problems is because she talked to somebody. And so here's something that I love, Danny, and I'm in a unique position because I get to talk to different people and I have my own personal experience. But what you have been saying, that what you were just talking about, just reinforced so many fundamental truths that I know about content marketing, that just hearing you reinforce that for me, I think is just unbelievable. And here are the main things. Here are the main things that I heard is when you're on the phone with a customer and you hear a scenario, you create a piece of content about it right then and there. You get it out there and you use their problem as the hook. And then you unpack it with a "you're not alone" statement. I just had this conversation, and if this is you, you're not alone. A lot of people have this problem, and here's why. That is fascinating to me. The other thing that you said, that's really fascinating to me is, oh gosh, there were so many things. Did I just lose it? Oh, that's what it was. And I've been saying this over and over again. We publish content not because we need to solve everybody's problems, but because we want to be known as a problem solver. And hearing you say that coming out of your mouth, people see your videos and they're like, "You're solving all of these problems. I have a problem. Do you think you can solve that?" So like that, like seeing that work, because I know it works. I tell other people about it, but like to hear somebody else coming back and having that exact same experience is just so validating and reinforcing, and it just means that you're absolutely doing the right thing. So, something else that I really want people to pull out of this is you have a pretty specific audience. You're located in Florida,
Yep,
and
that's
you do
correct.
most of your videos in Spanish.
Yeah, I do 100% of my videos in Spanish. I will create now another channel just to do it in English, and I will focus on VA stuff with this um with this video planner. So yeah.
I got mine.
Yeah, so I know this stuff works. So
Yes.
I'm going to start just focusing also on VA, on the VA side, to bring VA clients, because I know that not all loan officers understand how to work VA, and there's loan officers that they don't like to work with VA. Period.
So this nugget is about the size of the Empire State Building, and I hope everybody ran into this and recognized it. I want to talk a little bit about your results. This isn't about you making money and closing a ton of deals. It's about you serving your community and your community coming to you for answers. But you are niching down. You're not trying to be more broad. You are working within your wheelhouse. You're talking to your community. You're speaking in Spanish, so you're helping that community, which I think is absolutely amazing, because education in some of these minority communities is the biggest challenge out there.
Hey, is the best thing that I can do for the community and for myself. So let's start with ourselves. Sometimes I have people like when they call me and they start asking me so things. In my mind I said like, wow, this wow, people is very ignorant out there. I am an ignorant person, okay, because I'm gonna die being an ignorant, right? Because we don't know everything. So, but if I can start like educating consumers, and so that way when they call me or when they ask me a question, it will be more easy. That communication will be more straightforward because that person now is educated, have some content. This is not
And
teaching
they
in schools.
know, like, and trust you before they even reach out. So like they're like, "Hey, Danny, what's up? How was that barbecue?" And you're like, "What? How did you know all that stuff about me?"
Exactly. So yeah, the Hispanic community, and when they don't know something, or when they don't know why that happened, because that's the thing. Sometimes they call me like, "Hey, I try to qualify, but I don't know what happened." I said like, "But you didn't ask if it was due to your credit, due to your income." And they're like, "Man, that guy never told me." But you had the right to ask. Okay, so I'm trying to empower people, and so they can encourage the communities to know why things happen, and this have, and also at the same time I'm helping myself and people like you and other loan officers and other real estate agents, because the easiest way when something goes wrong is to point, no, the loan officer, the lender, the bankers, the real estate agent, they are trying to scam you. No, that's not about scamming people. That's about something went wrong, but you need to know what went wrong and why. Maybe it was your fault, but if someone doesn't take the time to explain why things happen, or hey, let's avoid these pitfalls, okay, now you know it. Now, that's why when I do a pre-approval, I do everything in writing. I include video. I'm very specific because I want things most clear as possible so people can understand and not see just 2 step ahead. I want them to see the goal, like everything. And this could happen, and this could happen, and this could happen, and this could happen. And if each of those things happen, are going to be your options. So, and video allows us to explain further to clients. And when they call me, it's like they trust me already. They trust me. I don't have to win over them, you know. That's the beautiful thing. And if you're
Well,
a loan officer and you're thinking about putting makeup, putting your lights, your thing, and you need all that to look perfect to do video, hey, you are wrong. The most raw, the most who if you show your how you are, really you are,
authentic.
hey, that's
Yes.
what people is looking. People is not looking for perfection. People is looking
Yes.
for to know people like them, okay, that they can talk to in their eyes.
Well,
And
and the beauty of this is you don't have to find those people, they find you. So
mhm,
so one of the things that I've been saying for years, and people don't believe me on this, is I tell everybody that when you're a content creator, you have no competition online because there's only one Danny Ruiz. Like, you don't have competition. There are other people talking about it, but you don't have competition because people do business with you because they know, like, and trust you. They hear your message, they see your passion, they know what you're trying to do. So, Danny, I have this question, and this was something that I recognized pretty quickly when I was creating a lot of content. It made me so much better of a loan officer because before I put content out there, I really wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. I want to make sure that the guideline was right. And it's sort of, you talk about flexing your muscles, right? You're fielding all of these questions all the time. Have you found that, like, you're just a better, more well-rounded loan officer from forcing yourself to create content?
yeah, absolutely. Before you post something, you have to make very sure that's something that you can do. And definitely most of the time, like this last week, I was there's a guideline in which where you can do a loan to self-employed consumers with just one taxes if you have been like 5 years as a self-employed in the same business, same line.
Yeah.
But prior to post that video, I sat down with the underwriting department. I posted the question on different mortgage groups on Facebook to see the answers, the different scenarios, and then when I was 100% sure that it's something that is doable, then I posted the video, and no one was talking about that. It's like I got comments like, hey, how can I do that? How can I reach to you? So, and that's another thing, when you see all those comments, you can start replying with a video to those comments, and that's more content that you have. And when people scrolling and they saw like, hey, this guy is answering question about mortgages, let me ask him something else, because I have now this doubt, or let me clarify, because I still have a doubt about what he said. And then you have more content. So that's what I love, the algorithm of and how the platform works for on TikTok. Because hey, the other day I had like 150,000 views in a video
Wow.
that I did, a 3 minutes video, and I did it pretty fast, probably in 7 minutes. And I had so much traction of that video for free, and so many calls that, that's why I love the algorithm about TikTok. That's what I see, that is beating Facebook, is beating Instagram. Now the US government is trying to ban TikTok, and I'm pretty sure that is not because our security, is because these corporations, they are putting pressure on the government, because it's taking business away from them. That's what I have
Mm.
seen. They broke the code. They are doing a great job right now.
I want to go back and pick up a nugget that you dropped in there. The self-employed 1 year, if you're 5 years in the same business, I think that's the Freddie Mac. That type of guideline, Freddie, the reason why that's great content, and if you haven't already done this, this is I always tell people I'm the laziest person you're ever going to meet, because I try to take stuff and I try to amplify it as much as I can. I would do a video specifically on the Freddie Mac underwriting guidelines for self-employed, do one for Fannie Mae if you're self-employed, do one for FHA if you're self-employed, one for VA and one for USDA, because and those are the consumers that are going back online for a second opinion, because their loan officer just tried to approve them with an FHA self-employed guidelines, or just Fannie Mae self-employment guidelines, and they didn't even run LPA, right? So they didn't even try, and that's why we get that business. So when you find something like that, look at the other guidelines. If the guideline is different for each agency, do a video specific to each one of those agencies, because a consumer somewhere is going to type in, what are the Freddie Mac self-employment guidelines? Because they said, nope, you can't get approved Fannie Mae. And the consumer doesn't know any different, other than like, okay, Fannie said no, who's this Freddie guy? If mom says no, I'm going to ask dad, And it's like,
Yeah,
you can have so much fun with that. But consumers don't know.
I am from Puerto Rico, right? I relocated to Tampa 5 years ago. And in Puerto Rico, we had this story that there was a client that he went to the bank because he was very frustrated, he was mad, and he wanted to talk with Fannie and Freddie.
Yeah. I want to hear right now.
Yeah, that was funny. The story that we shared a loan officer over there.
But
So yeah.
see, this is why it's so important that anybody who's listening to this, you're interested in what Danny's doing and what I'm talking about. You're interested in creating content, but maybe you just haven't gotten out there yet. There is a reality on the internet that the consumer's options are limited to the loan officer that they get stuck with. So if they go online, they're gonna click on a Rocket ad, a Lending Tree ad, a Bankrate ad, all these companies that are spending millions of dollars a year to convince consumers that the way that you get your questions answered is that you fill out a form on the internet. But then they get disappointed and they find somebody like Danny. You guys, the market is wide open. So Danny, let's talk a little bit about numbers. How busy is this keeping you? And what I really want to know is how you scaled to be able to handle the communication, because there's this thing that, what if it works? Right? So you go into it just like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work or not. And then it works and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got people wanting to reach out to me. How do they reach out to me? How do I follow up? How do I organize it? So take us down that path.
No, absolutely. I have a to-do list to talk to you. And on this list, that's your point. So hey, how busy I am? I will say that right away. What now is March the 10th. So practically, I have around 22 leads coming just from my TikToks videos. Okay, 22 leads. Yesterday, one person applied, and I got her pre-approved right off the bat. So
Now, when you say 22, are these 1003s or are these inquiries? Like, what is the call to
okay,
action?
from 22 leads, okay, 11 or 12 come, they apply. They
Yep.
apply. What I do, this is how I do business with the TikTok stuff. I refer them to my phone number, or I refer them to my Calendly, to my link on my profile, where it's
Very
my link tree, and they can, schedule a call to me. But I prefer, honestly, them to have a conversation first. So, and this is very important, your setup, because when you are putting yourself out there, you want to have great service. So you need to have a setup how you're going to take those phone calls. So I have a virtual assistant with me that she's taking my calls. I use Ring Central. If she doesn't answer the phone because she's on the line and I'm also on the line, then it goes straight to a call center that I have, that they take the phone calls in Spanish or in English. So your setup is very important, so you don't miss any calls. You don't want any bad reviews in your comments. So people, be aware of that. So invest in yourself, because probably that lead that you are missing is the one which is going to help you earning 4,000, 5,000, $2,000. So that's very important. That's money going away. Um, Anything and that you want to ask?
Yeah, no, that's really, really great advice. So you're using, so you want to have a conversation, and I think that's really important, because I think a lot of times, we're taught sales in the mortgage industry and it's sales, 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 but you're not. You're educating and you're empowering consumers, and they want to have a conversation first. You could say, oh, you've got all of this traffic here, fill out my 1003, and I'll talk to you if you fill out my 1003. But I love the fact that you've created a system where there's a conversation that takes place. And so you're making that virtual relationship and you're creating a personalized relationship off of it, and you're listening to them. Have you had this experience as well, that most online consumers just want to be heard? They just want to talk to somebody and they want somebody to listen to what their story is.
Yep, no, absolutely. Hey, I know my people, and this is very important to talk to your audience. My audience, they want to see me in person, and I don't want to be in person with anyone. No, because I don't like them. It's because I know that time is money,
It
and
doesn't,
I
yeah,
serve them better
yeah.
if I don't have to go out from my desk. I'm faster and more effective. We have a lot of things going on in our business, and if we lose sight of something, you can get screwed, and meaning losing money, not you but the client, the real estate agent, or your partner. So I prefer to do it, to be remotely with them.
Do you do Zoom
And
calls?
they are used to, well, They prefer to see me in person, but since they already like me and trust
We
me,
already saw you, kind of.
it is very easy just to explain, hey, I'm working remotely, but you can send me the paperwork through email or fax. So you know your audience. Maybe your audience, if you are working in Silicon Valley, they will prefer to do it online, right? But I know my people from Florida, they are better like to have that first conversation to understand how it works, you know, and that's not bad. I like it. I like it. That's my market. Period. That's the way I have to work in order to put food on the table. But so
So if
very
you
important. And let me tell you this because I don't want this to I don't want to forget this. As loan officer, I don't know why I had this very big ego that just by educating people online, they were going to call me. Okay. And I was so wrong. Well, they call me. Sometimes they call me. We create that bond of the like and trust, mostly with real estate agents. When I am on the road or in an event, they say, "Ah, you're Danny." I said, "Like, yeah, I'm Danny. How you know me?" "Ah, because I follow you on TikTok or Facebook, whatever." So that's good. That's good. You create very fast bonding with them. But when you're talking straight to the consumer, you want to give them instructions. Like you are not just offering information, right? You need to tell them that they need to call you because you are the one that are going to help them. And if you want them to call you, you're going to say, call me, and this is my phone number. So, what's the next step? Hey, the next step is to call me. Once you call me, I will provide you information. We want to see where are we going, how much you qualify. And if you don't qualify, and I told them, and if you don't qualify, like 7 out of 10, they don't qualify right off the bat. So maybe you are there and you want to know exactly what to do, what you need to improve. So when the market start, those interest rates going down, you are ready and prepared. We cannot start there in that moment. We need to start now. So what's the next step? To call me. And I have been doing that on my videos, and it's been working excellent. So that's something that people need to know, that it's not just putting information out there. You need
right.
to tell them what to do, how to
Well,
apply with you.
well, I love what your call to action is, a conversation, right? You're educating and you're saying, let's have a conversation about this. And what I love about this, because I've been saying this since uh, basically last year when the rates went up. Whoever has the biggest audience with the most trust wins when the market turns, right? So when the market starts to turn, when rates go back down, whatever happens with the market, and whenever it happens, you have this huge audience, and maybe you can only help 3 out of 10 people, but those other 7 people still love you and trust you. They just know they're not ready right now, right? Because you didn't ignore them. You had a conversation with them, you educated them, and you said, listen, you're 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 months out, do these things. And so now that's your audience. Those are still your fans. They're still evangelists for you. And the other thing, when you build this type of audience, the referrals that come out of that audience that trusts you is crazy. I don't know if you're doing this, but part of that call to action is not only if you have questions, but if anybody has any questions about this market, because this market is crazy. So if you know anybody, go ahead and I'm happy to have a conversation with them. And you can get those referrals, because that is now your referral source, is this audience of people that know, like, and trust you. So, man, Danny, you have dropped so many amazing nuggets here. I do, listen, we're loan officers, and they kind of want to know if you've had any success. For me, your success is evolving. It is going to continue to grow. The thing with what you're doing is it grows and it grows and it builds on itself and it builds momentum. So last year was your first year. do you have any idea of what percentage of your loans last year that you got from your video efforts?
12% came from TikTok.
Wow, that's good. That's about as much as we
And
get
it
on
was a tough
referrals.
year, let me tell you. And it was not higher due to the rate increase,
Yes.
because I remember January, and January was a very good month. And and I know why January is a good month, because people want to prepare for taxes. People is preparing because they have the new goals of the year. And it started very good, like with 12 or 13 pre-approval right off the bat. But then when with the increase, and we had to cut sales price and loan amount, most of them got out of the market. So that, but it was going to be much better.
Yeah, and it will be much better, but if you wouldn't have done it, that's 12% of your business that wouldn't have gotten done last year. That
Hey,
and that's a huge difference.
definitely. And this is something that you can repurpose all your videos for so many things in your
Yep.
daily life. Because I most of those videos, then I upload them to BombBomb, and I send them a mass text or mass email to real estate agents that are already working with me, to clients. I have videos like, hey, how do I scan my taxes through Cam Scanner? I have videos that I have done for TikTok of that, and then I repurpose it and send them to a text, with a text to my clients. And it's there. I save so much time by doing that. That, hey guys, if you're not doing videos, I encourage you to do it. But if you don't want to, no worries. I will continue getting your clients.
Man, all right, Danny, you are such an inspiration, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being willing to be so candid and sharing. Do you have any other nuggets on your list here
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you like
absolutely. I have. I
people to
have.
take
Hey,
away?
there are so many millions right now of real estate licenses out there, and they are just a few of license that they are active. There's a lot of people that maybe have the license and they haven't done a deal yet, or probably they have just like 2 or 3 deals per year. And that's, I love to go straight to the consumer. But now I have an audience, and I know that in that audience I have a lot of real estate agents that are just following me because they are learning. They are trying to learn more of our scenarios that we have every single day, and they need that stuff to feel more empowered and more encouraged and with more knowledge. So it is good to also talk to them, talk straight to the real estate agents.
Are
And
you
believe
doing
me,
any
they are going to call you, and thank you for that.
are you teaching? So this is something that I always did is I would learn a technology or I would learn a strategy, and then I would do lunch and learns, and I would teach agents those classes. Have you thought about creating classes for real estate agents or doing any sort of TikTok training?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I think that I did a couple of them. But as right now, I have been doing so good with what I'm doing, that I have and I want to do that too. But at this time, I feel that we are having a great time with what we are doing.
Perfect.
But
Yeah.
sometimes the good thing is that when you do TikTok, you don't have to offer this. You are going to receive calls from real estate agents. You're going to receive calls from brokers asking you, hey, could you come to my office and teach us a class from 1 hour? And it's like you have all your leverage in your side, right?
You, you're,
It's like
you're
you know that you are doing so well that they are calling you, that you can say like one of two things. You can say, okay, I'm going there, no problem, and this time or this day. Or you can tell them, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna charge you like $20 per person. You can decide. It all depends in which level you are, right? You don't have to do it all for free. So how you wanted to do it, but right now I know that I have so much leverage doing videos and using TikTok that I can charge people, and they will be glad to pay $20 just to understand all the things that I know and learn from that, you know. So
It's
yeah.
amazing in your pursuit to be self-reliant, you ended up being an opportunity magnet. Like it comes to you because you're out there working on your self-reliant. It's your content, your ideas, you're leveraging these free platforms to put it out there, and it just naturally attracts people to you, both customers and referral partners.
Yeah,
Is
no, absolutely.
do you have anything else you want to drop? I
Yeah,
feel like we've got
I'm
so
gonna
much.
drop one more thing that
Okay,
I
one more
learned.
thing.
So as you know, we have when before posting something, we have to make pretty sure that is accurate, right?
Mhm.
So I love to follow other financial advisors talking about other podcasts, right?
Yep.
And I consume a lot of information daily. So when I found this guy that he has, I don't know how many, like 300,000 subscribers on his YouTube videos, and I learned from him, and then I used most of his ideas to create my own videos, right, with your seasoning, with your recipe, right.
Yep.
And I read the comments of people, because when you read the comments,
Yes.
there's where you grab how people feel, how
Yep.
what's their level of education about certain topic. So you have so much content there to
So
do
smart.
other videos, but at the same time, most of these guys doesn't respond all their questions. So when you go to the comments, you see a lot of question and no one has responded. So if you are subscribed as Scott Chang's Home Loans, and you start responding all those questions to those people, you know what? Who are they going to call? They're going to call you. So that's another
That's
nugget
very stealthy.
that I found. Yeah, the other day I was like, this is curious. Let me start responding to these people.
Man, man. Okay, that is so good. All right, Danny, we're running up here on we're running up here on our time. I just want to thank you again for being here and sharing all this stuff. I hope you guys got some great information out of here. You just validated so many things that I talk about, and you're doing it in your own style, at your own pace, on a platform that I could never be successful on. So I love seeing the fact that these principles are absolutely sound and they 100% work. It doesn't matter what the venue is. It just matters that you're doing it. And quite frankly, the only way that you would not be successful as a content creator is if you give up. Because if you don't give up, you're going to figure it out. And it's
You need
going
consistency. You need consistency,
and
period.
consistency. This is something you work on for years, not hours. And when you do that, you're going to create a consistent flow of inbound business. And that's what I do at Find My Way Home. So if you're a loan officer out there and you're listening to this, we teach you how to be self-reliant, how to be content creators. At the same time, we're introducing you to consumers looking for a second opinion. If you have any questions about that, I've got links down in the description. And Danny, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for being here, and we'll see everybody next time.